g of f of x. So that means we replace the value of x here in function g with the whole function f of x. Alright? And f of x is equal to 2 of x. So we replace that. So this would become g of 2 to the x. Alright? And then we replace the value of x by 2 to the x. So this would become 2 to the x over 2 to the x minus 2. So this would become g. So g of f of 3 would become 2 cubed over 2 cubed minus 2. So this is 8 over 8 minus 2. So 8 over 6. This is 4/3. Right. Okay. So letter B is g inverse of 5. We're given g of x equals x over x minus 2. G of x can be just y equals x over x minus 2. And then we solve for x in terms of y here. So this would become x equals y over x, over y minus 2. Then we swap to get the inverse of the function. So this would become x times y minus 2. We multiply both sides by y minus 2. So this is equal to y. So this is xy minus 2x equals y. Then, okay, we add 2x to both sides. So we're left with xy equals y plus 2x. Our goal is to put all of the y's on one side and then all of the x or the other terms on one side. Let me change the color. Okay, let's do it here. So we have xy equals y plus 2x. Then we subtract y from both sides. This cancels out. So we have xy minus y equals 2x. Then we factor out y because y is the common factor. So this would become y times x minus 1 equals 2x. Then we divide both sides by x minus 1 over x minus 1. This cancels out. So y is equal to 2x over x minus 1. So this is the inverse. So now this is a g inverse of x is equal to 2x over x minus 1. And now we need to find, am I too fast? G inverse of 5. I think I'm too fast. Okay, got it? So now we have this one. Equation x equals y over y minus 2. We've already replaced x with y and y with x. Now we need to solve y from this equation. So we multiply both sides by y minus 2. That's why we have this equation here. You got that? You got that? No problem? Okay, so we multiplied y, both sides by y minus 2, so we got this, x times y minus 2 equals y. And then we distribute x to y minus 2, so x times y is xy. minus x times 2 is 2x equals y. Our goal here is to solve for y. Okay? To solve for y in terms of x. So we need to get rid all of the x values on the left because we want to put y on the left, or you can also put y on the right if you want to. So I subtracted 2x from here, from the left equation or expression. So we're left with xy equals, no, I added. Okay, we added 2x to both sides. That's why we have xy equals y plus 2x. And we want to move y from the right to the left. So we have this one. We subtract y from both sides. This one. So we have xy minus y equals 2x. Since y is a common factor, then we factor out y, then we're left with x minus 1 in the parentheses. Okay? So we have y times x minus 1 equals 2x. Then we divide both sides by x minus 1 to get rid of the x minus 1 on the left. So we will be left with only y. Now this is the inverse of g of x, this one. Okay? But the question is g inverse of 5. So we replace the value, we solve for the value of y when x is 5. So we just substitute 5 here. So 2 times 5 over 5 minus 1. So this is 10 over 4, right? And 10 over 4 can be reduced as 5 over 2. So g inverse of 5 is just equal to 5 over 2. Got that? No questions on the first one, g of f of 3? You understand that very well? Okay, let me check the other problem. You can swipe the live board or go to the next page, so we don't have to delete this. Alright, the following diagram shows part of the graph of, let me write that here, f of x equals 5 minus x squared with vertex 0, 5. Its image y equals g of x after a translation with vector hk, and has vertex 3, 6. Okay, let me check the graph. Write down the value of h and k. Yeah? So h here should be 3. You translate it 3 units to the right, and then k should be 6, because it is translated 1 unit upwards, 1 unit up. Okay, write down an expression for g of x. It says, okay, so we're given f of x, this one. So that means g of x is just, okay, so let's write this as negative x squared plus 5, okay, in that form, quadratic equation form, ax squared plus bx plus c, and then translated 3 units to the right. So this is negative of, what is when it is translated horizontally, 3 units? Is it minus or plus? To the right, to the right. Yeah, it should be minus because that is to the right. So x minus 3 squared, and then plus 5 plus 1. Yeah, notice the vertex here in the second graph in the image is 3, 6. It is changed, the value of y is 6, so that means the graph is moved 1 unit up. Okay, so this would become negative x minus 3 squared plus 6. So this is now the new, or the expression for g of x. Right. On the same diagram, sketch the graph of g. Okay, what's this? C. Y equals g of negative x. So what is g of negative x? This is, okay, negative x, reflection over the y-axis. Yeah, reflection over the y-axis. So that means we flip that. Our original graph, let me check the graph. Okay, can you go to the next page? Okay, so y equals g of negative x. So that means reflection over the y-axis. So our graph is originally like this. So this is the parent, no, the first graph with vertex 0, 5, and this is the image with vertex 3, 6, and we need to reflect this over the y-axis. So what will happen to our graph? We will count how many units to, it should be to the left. Yeah. Okay, if this is 3 and this is 6, this is 5, 0. So what will happen to your graph? It should be in negative 3, right? Let's say negative 3 here. Maybe negative 3 here. So our graph would be here. It would be somewhere here. The same value of y, but different value of x. So the vertex would become negative 3, 6. All right. Yeah, because we reflect the graph over the y-axis. You got that? Can you move to the next page? Okay, number 3, the diagram shows part of the graph. Okay, that one is the vertex form. The vertex is at point 3, 1. Write down the value of hk. Vertex is 3, 1. So that means h is equal to 3, then k is equal to 1. Well, that's easy, right? Y equals ax minus h squared plus k. So this is y equals ax minus 3 squared plus 1. The point 59 is on the graph. Show that a equals 2. So how do you show a equals 2 here? We just plug in the value of x and y from point P. So we're given here point P 5, 9. Then we plug into the equation. So this would become 9 equals a times 5 minus 3 squared plus 1. So this is 9 equals 5 minus 3 is 2. Then 2 squared is 4. So this is 4a plus 1. Then 9 minus 1 equals 4a. 8 equals 4a divided by 4. So A here is equal to 2. Okay, A is equal to 2. So that's how you show it. So if you're given the vertex and a point, and then you're asked to solve for the value of A, then this is how you're going to do it. You just substitute the value of X and Y from the given point, and then you work from there. Okay, you can go to the next page. Show that the equation of the curve can be written as y equals 2x squared minus 12x plus 19. Okay, let's show that. We've already solved that a equals 2, right? And our equation is y equals 2 times x, because our vertex is 3, 1. So x minus 3 squared plus 1. Then we just expand. So we do like this. Y equals 2. What is x minus 3 squared? Can you expand that? Okay, you FOIL that. FOIL. X minus 3 squared is just equal to x minus 3 times x minus 3. You just multiply the two binomials. You do like this. This one, x times x. FOIL. First, outward, inward, then last. So first, this one, and then outward, this one, and then inward, then last. So that is x times x. Okay, x times x, so that is x squared. Oh, you forgot x times x. You wrote 2x. What happened to you? It's x squared. You're tired? It'll be x squared. Okay, then the last one, negative 3 times negative 3, it's positive 9. It should be plus. Okay, then you simplify. You group like terms. So these are like terms. Okay, so now we already have that. Let me delete this. We substitute that here. I'll put that here. X squared minus 6x plus 9 plus 1. And now we expand. Let me put that here. The bottom. This one here. Okay. So this is y equals 2 times x squared minus 6x plus 9 is 2x squared minus 12x plus 18 plus 1. And then we group like terms. This would become y equals 2x squared minus 12x plus 19. And now we've already proven, see, that the equation can be expanded to this. Can be, the equation of the curve can be written as this one. Notice they're the same. Okay, that's how to do it. Okay, we don't need to delete this. You can just go to another page. You can delete it later when you're done going over it. Non-calculator section. With the first one, it says calculator section. We didn't need calculator there. What happened here? You don't need a calculator there. Which one? Yeah, that's strange. Calculator section and why we don't need calculator there, right? maybe to graph, maybe it's suggesting to like use a scientific a more advanced scientific calculator. Let's see, non-calculator section. The function f, okay, is given by f of x equals square root of 8 minus x. Find the domain of the function. Okay, find the domain of the function. This function is undefined when x is equal to 0. You look for factors of 10 that when you multiply them, it would equal to negative 10. And when you add them up, it would equal to negative 3. So what are the factors of 10? Ten can be what? 5 and 2, right? And 10 and 1. Okay, notice here, okay, this is the technique. Notice here that the coefficient of the middle term is negative 3. Okay? And this is the result of adding the factors of 10. So the result is negative, so that means the larger number should be negative. If you chose this one, 5 and 2, because when you multiply 5 and 2, it is 10. So if you chose 5 and 2, 5 should be negative, because 5 is the larger number. Okay? 10 and 1 cannot be, because when we subtract 10 and 1, it's not equal to 3. It is 9. So we just choose 5 and 2. See? Let me show you. Negative 5 times 2 is equal to negative 10. So it's correct. Negative 5 plus 2 is equal to negative 3, which is also correct. You got that? Okay. So we can write this as x minus 5. We can factor this as x minus 5 times x plus 2. Now, you understand that? Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Can you go to the next page? Solve x squared minus 3x. X squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. You want to try? It's the same as factorization. We solve for x, but in this case, we just need to solve for x. Yes. Oh, the same equation, right? So that is x minus 5 times x plus 2. Then solve for x. Then this should be equal to 0. Then you equate each one. Oh, you don't expand. This is what you're going to do using zero property. So these are the factors. You equate each factor to 0. Like that. X plus 2 equals 0. Then solve for x. Now solve for x from there. Yeah. Zero property, if you can remember. These are the factors, right? Okay. Now to solve for x, this is what you're going to do. You equate each of the factors to 0 to solve for x. Alright? And then, from there, can you solve for x? Okay, so you add 5 here. It's the same as what we did Yeah, see? Or you transpose 5. So you just add 5 there to both sides. So x is equal to 5. And here you subtract 2 from both sides. So x is equal to negative 2. So these are the values of x. Yes. Because it is a quadratic equation. Got it? Yeah. Okay, no questions on this. We can move on to the next one. Number 3. Number 3. The equation k x squared, or maybe you can move to another, go to another page. Okay. The equation k x squared plus 3x plus 1 equals 0 has exactly one solution, and find the value of k. Okay. If you can still recall from the previous lesson we had, when it has one solution, the determinant is equal to 0. So determinant is b squared minus 4ac. Minus 4ac. Okay, so a here is equal to k, b is equal to 3, then c is equal to 1. Alright, and now we can, since it has exactly one solution, that means b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. Then we plug in all of the values. So b is 3, so 3 squared minus 4 times a is k times c is 1. So we can solve for k. So this is 9 minus 4k equals 0. Then we subtract 9 from both sides. So we have negative 4k equals negative 9. Then we divide both sides by negative 4. Therefore, k is equal to 9 over 4. So that's how to solve it. Right. You got that? No problem with that? Okay. We move on to the next problem. Can you go to the next page? Or am I too fast? Let f of x equals 8x minus 2x squared. Part of the graph f is shown below. Find the x-intercepts. Okay, to find the x-intercept, we set y equals 0. Okay, this is what you should remember. To find x-intercept, set y equals 0. To find y-intercept, set x equals 0. Alright? Okay. So in this case, we are asked for the x-intercepts of the graph given the function, its equation 8x minus 2x squared. It says we set y equals 0. So f of x is just equal to y. So we can write this as y equals 8x minus 2x squared. Then we set y to 0. So this is 0 equals 8x minus 2x squared. And now we can solve for the x intercepts. Okay, so we can factor out x here and 2. Okay, 2x times 4 minus x, right? If we're going to factor out. You understand that? Or, okay, so it won't be confusing for you. We can write this as 8x minus 2x squared. Is this easier? Much easier? And then we can rewrite this as negative 2x squared plus 8x equals 0. And then what is the common factor? 2, because 2 and x, right? So this would become, we are left inside a parenthesis with negative x, right? Plus 4. Okay? Get that? Because if you multiply them back, 2x times negative x is negative 2x squared. Then 2x times 4 is 8x. So we can equate each one of them. So this is 2x equals 0, and the other one is negative x plus 4 equals 0. Then divide both sides by 2. One of the values of x is equal to 0, and the other one, we subtract 4 from both sides. So we have negative x equals negative 4. Then we divide both sides by negative 1. Therefore, x here, x is equal to 4. So we have x equals 0, x equals 4. Therefore, the x-intercepts are 0, 0, and 4, 0. You got that? Alright, so no questions on this, the x-intercepts? Okay, can you go to the next page? Write down the equation of the axis of symmetry. Okay, the same equation, that is f of x equals 8x minus 2x squared. Or we can write this as negative 2x squared plus 8x. They're just the same. So how do we solve for the axis of symmetry? Still remember? We haven't discussed that here. We discussed it like 2 lessons ago or 3 lessons ago. So this is what axis of symmetry. If you're given the vertex, then x is equal to h, a vertex form or a vertex. But in this case, we're not given the vertex. So the axis of symmetry is just equal to x equals negative b over 2a. You remember that, okay? So x is equal to h if the vertex is given or the equation is in vertex form. But if the equation isn't in vertex form, it's in this form, a quadratic or the standard form, then you use this equation for the axis of symmetry. Alright? So what is the value of b here? What is b? Okay, so that is negative 8 over 2 times, what is a? Negative 2. It's negative 2. So you should include the sign. So this is negative 8 over negative 4. So this is 2. So the axis of symmetry here is 2. You should write this in vertex form. Okay. Find the y-coordinate of the vertex. So y-coordinate, if the vertex is hk, so the y-coordinate is equal to k. Right. Okay. So this is our equation. We need to write this in vertex form. Vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Now in this case, we need to do, I think we need to do completing the square. Again, so function of x equals 8x minus 2x squared. So we find the y coordinate of the vertex. So vertex HK, that means the y coordinate is equal to k. So we rewrite the equation f of x equals negative 2x squared plus 8x, or we don't need to do the completing the square. We already found the, how was this? The axis of symmetry. This one. Negative 8 over 2 times negative 2. This is 2, right? So x is equal to h. That is our the x coordinate of the, what's this? The vertex, and that is equal to 2. So we can just plug in 2 to the function. So we can solve for y. So that is f of 2 is equal to 8 times 2 minus 2 times 2 squared. So this is 16 minus 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So this is 8. Therefore, the y coordinate of the vertex is equal to 8. So the vertex is just 0.28. You got that? Are you still okay? To review. Yeah, notice that you're only given like one type of question, one type of problem, and then the next number is another problem. There's not much examples, so you have to practice solving. But you just have to take notes on this, then memorize or familiarize the pattern or how to solve them. Okay, let's check the others. Let me check. The following diagram shows part of the graph